With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative. The estimated hold time is currently less than 96 minutes. You are currently caller number 32.
Are you tired of getting blown out of the water by other web hosting solutions? At BladeNode.com, our affordable web hosting and quick customer support is our #1 priority. BladeNode Web Hosting was started with a mission to provide premium hosting at half the price as other hosts without sacrificing features, reliability, and 24/7 customer support with a live technician. Join our community today by visiting BladeNode.com and using promo code BLADE10 for 10% off your first package.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thursday night action on tap for you. Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series here at the beautiful California countryside, Sonoma Raceway. I count 13 turns. Some drivers and crew chiefs may count 15, 16 turns. All depends on how you really lay this raceway out. And I tell you what, it is going to be an absolute beast for a lot of these drivers. But first and foremost, how you doing? How you been? Glad you could join us once again. As always, I am Darkside Dave in the Cave here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, bringing you all the calls from this great raceway all the way over on the West Coast. So sit back, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show here tonight from Sonoma Raceway. Drivers shaking down the cars here in the final 5 minutes of happy hour. We'll throw up a little bit of the track information for you here today from Sonoma Raceway, and it looks like a few things getting a little out of order with the overlay up there at the top of the screen, but we're going to continue rolling on. There you see it, the air temperature nice and cool out here, just a little bit under 80 degrees. Track temperature very high though, 111 degrees on the track. That is going to give these drivers an absolute fit already. Very slick, very treacherous out there around multiple corners here tonight, so watch for the tail ends of these Cup cars to get a little tail happy here tonight. But we'll see who has what it takes to turn left and right and get theirself to a victory lane for the Relentless Wrestling 75 here from Sonoma Raceway. Your championship points coming in to race number, I believe this is race number 4 in the season's second race with us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And man, I tell you, last week at Daytona was an absolute barn burner. Great show from these BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series drivers, your championship points coming in to tonight's race look a little something like that. There you can see the one of Tanner Tallarico still on top of your point standings, 176 points ahead of Davey Hendricks right there in second. Excuse me. Tim Rogers right there inside the top 5 as well. Crank Bell, after a podium finish last week, finishing in third at Daytona, he's going to round out your top 5 in the point standings. There you see a lot of other familiar faces down through the running order here. The 17th in the point standings, Bradley Beeman, Tom Richter right there in 18th. So a lot of familiar faces and drivers a little behind the 8 ball very early in the season. Long way to go for these drivers to make up all the points that they're going to need to make. So here's a chance and a track to make up a ton of ground and a ton of space, as it is going to be pretty tricky out there for a load of drivers. We'll just have to wait to see how all that shakes out. Once again, thank you for joining us here tonight. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break before we head back trackside for qualifying here in the Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. Back trackside, and as promised, few drivers beginning to roll off of pit road. I tell you what, let's go out there with last week's race winner, Mike Berg. Let's see what that 81 machine can do here at Sonoma Raceway. Very different contrast of a racetrack as compared to last week there at Daytona International Superspeedway. Berg was able to put his 81 machine right there in victory lane. We'll have to see if he can do that here today. You're going to take a lot of discipline and a lot of patience to get that job done. A lot of other drivers also out there on track. Eddie Behan out there. Travis Everett also out there. Jeff Winter out there. Chris Dean. Andrew Payne, sorry about that. Andrew, about called you Adam there. Bryson Clark. Dylan Reed. Davey Hendricks. Zach Shalias. Warm-up lap here for the 81, so nice and easy on the throttle. We'll go out there. We'll check in with this 51, this pink M&M's Toyota Camry being driven by Davey Hendricks. It looks nice out there coming to the hairpin. A lot of you familiar folks of NASCAR know that familiar turn right there, the final turn in the old configuration here at Sonoma Raceway. This is the newer configuration, does have a lot more elevation changes and has a little bit more technical aspects through the intersection, probably section number 2, if you had to label it here at the raceway. As we continue to watch this 51 of Davey Hendricks go around the track, looking at a lot of other drivers also out there on track. Bryson Clark still out there on his qualifying lap. Ton of drivers out there. Track, very busy place. So I tell you what, we're going to actually jump around a little bit, bounce around the track. As Davey Hendricks, he's making his way through this little tough technical part that I was talking about. That long carousel there on the downhill. Then you got that short chute around this very long 90-degree. It's a hairpin, but kind of a boxed off hairpin before you get back to the old Cup car chicane. Or actually the finishing section of the old NASCAR Cup track layout. This is more of the IndyCar track, and I believe NASCAR has actually adopted this configuration. So we'll wait and see how everybody slots out here in qualifying. It looks like we do have a few drivers already with a time lapse, so we'll go ahead and throw that up on the screen for you. Dylan Reed sitting on top of the speed charts right now with a quick time, 1:34.90. So a pretty good time out of him. Frank DiMaggio now taking over the top of the speed charts. He's got a 1:34.42. Looks like Hendricks carrying on right now. Good enough for 7th. We'll jump around the track. Let's see. Let's go back here with Eddie Behan. See how that 55 machine, that discount tire Ford Mustang, looks pretty nice out there. Nice little touch of gold on the side of that 55 machine. We'll see if he can keep it nice and clean on the dark part of the track. Very key when road course racing is keep it on the track first. Frank DiMaggio still out there on his second time lap, trying to improve on his quick time that has got him in the provisional pole spot right now. Looks like he's going to finish his second time lap, not going to improve. I have to wait to see where Behan shakes out right here. Going to cross the stripe that time by. Looks like a time disallowed. Or that may have been his up to speed lap. We'll have to keep an eye on that one right there. Tim Rogers coming to a stop, only good enough for 3rd here in this 10-minute qualifying session in the Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, presented to you by BladeNode.com. Simple web solutions powered by nerds. Nick Fleury right there, 12th position on the scoring pylon. He's on his second time lap. We'll see what Eddie Behan can do here on his actual first time lap. Chris Wold out there as well. Mike Berg on another attempt at a qualifying lap. Brett Hahn out there as well. Dylan Diaz out there as well. Your top 10 locked in right now. Now make that your top 12 all locked in. Frank DiMaggio pulling the wool over everybody's head here. Was a 3rd in happy hour, but stealing the thunder, no pun intended, stealing that top spot away. Tanner Tallarico was one of the fastest drivers there in happy hour, but not here in qualifying. That one machine going to sit in 4th spot right now. We've got Nick Fleury still out on the track. Eddie Behan turning in his time lap. We'll wait to see where he shakes out. Crank Bell also out there on his time lap. We'll jump back there with this 14 machine as he makes his way around the track. Where will Behan shape out? All the way up to 8th, so heck of a lap there by Behan. Bell making his way around the track here in the NASCAR section of this one. On his up to speed lap, so he's got one shot at it here. We'll see if he can't get the job done. Then we'll step away for just a brief moment. Head down for our national anthem, then get things ready to go. Green Flag Racing here and Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. Oh, and the 14 with some trouble. That's going to cause an issue for Bell. He's going to have to reset, regroup, and that is going to bring an end to the qualifying session here from Sonoma Raceway. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with your green flag here from Sonoma Raceway.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though. Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the Parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the Parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Micah Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And it's race time once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network field, hitting the starting grid. Your starting order for tonight's Relentless Wrestling 75 here in the Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series looks a little something like this, snatching the pole away right as we went to the commercial break. Mike Berg in the 81 machine gonna try to repeat last week's race win, lining up just to his outside. On the front row, the 95 of Frank DiMaggio. Lining up inside row number 2, the 71 of Brett Hahn, just to his outside, the 31 of Dylan Reed. Row number 3, the 48 of Tim Rogers, followed by the 1 of Tanner Tallarico. Row number 4 here tonight in the Relentless Wrestling 75, the 93 of Andrew Payne, followed by the 73 of Bryson Clark. Row number 5 here tonight, the 51 of Davey Hendricks, followed by the 55 of Eddie Behan. Lining up inside row number 6, the 19 of Jeff Sharp, followed by the 34 of Tom Ricker. Lining up inside row number 7, the 13 of Travis Elliott, followed by the 4 of GT Irizarry. There you go. I got it right. GT Irizarry right there, lining up in the 14th position inside row number 8, the 32 of Chris Wold and the 25 of Nick Fleury. Row number 9, the 30 of Jeff Winter and the 83 of Eric Anderson. Row number 10 here today, the 22 of Zach Shahalis, there you go. Sorry about that, Zach. The 29 of Jamie Beasley going to line up just to his outside inside row number 11, the 248 of Richard Pruitt, followed by the 33 of Jeff Chandler. Inside row number 12, the 17 of Kyle Jett, followed by the 2 of Chris Dean. Starting in the 25th position here today, Jay Morris, Bradley Beeman gonna line up just to his outside. Dan Diaz gonna slide in 27th. 28th will be Andy Cork. Starting inside row number 15, the 14 of Crank Bell, followed by Bill Jett. And in 31st position here tonight, starting in the Relentless Wrestling 75, the 42 of Paul Turner. Bob Rogerson gonna line up to his outside in his 78 machine. And Brian Dorsey in the 9 machine gonna round out the field here tonight from Sonoma Raceway. And man, oh man, race fans, are you ready? Because here we go. Pace car gonna get out of the way. This time by There It Goes Field, getting ready to go. Green Flag Racing here from Sonoma Raceway in the Relentless Wrestling 75, your pole sitter. The 81 of Mike Berg brings the field to a crawl, bringing them to the restart zone. When will the flag fly? Green flag here at Sonoma Raceway. Are you ready to put down 75 laps around this 2.47 mile track? Oh my goodness, going to be one heck of a night for a lot of drivers out there. Field looks to be making their way through the early stages of this race nice and clean. There you see a long track. Oh, contact and trouble. Off track goes Tim Rogers. We'll go back, take a look at that with Tim here. A little bit of contact there. That 93 goes right on around. Oh my goodness. Only driver to go off the track so far, so we'll jump back up front with your race leaders as that 81 of Mark Berg has opened up already a 1.5 second lead over Brett Hahn. Frank DiMaggio falling from second back to third here in the opening lap. Just behind him, Dylan Reed, Tanner Tallarico right there in 5th, Bryson Clark in 6th, Davey Hendricks sitting there in 7th, Eddie Behan in 8th, 9th is Jeff Sharp. Tom Ricker rounds out your top 10. Still very early, still a very long race here tonight. Still on lap number 1, this opening lap has claimed one victim already. Tim Rogers going off track one time, and I believe that was turn number 2 going around and off track. That's going to put him a little bit behind the 8 ball early, but still a very long way to go here before the end of the night. We'll have to wait to see how everything shakes out. Mike Berg continuing to open up that race lead over the drivers on screen, the 71 of Brett Hahn and Frank DiMaggio right there trying to chase him down very early in the race. Only lap number 2 down the downhill section into turn number, I believe that's 6. Down through this newer infield section. A lot of these drivers not very familiar with this new configuration. It can kind of catch you off guard, especially right here, this downhill, very long sweeping carousel. You can end up carrying a lot more speed than what you think you have, especially with that downhill part right there. And oh no, looks like Richard Pruitt, Davey Hendricks, Bryson Clark may have had some issues. We'll go back, check this one out. See what happened back here with Richard Pruitt. 24 machine coming into the final turn here on the opening lap. locking it up, locking it down, and it looks like, a little bit of contact out of the 2 machine. That sends the 24 around. We'll take another look at a lap 1 incident here. Davey Hendricks in the 51 machine going off track. Looks like he may have had a little issue. Right there. Off and into the 73 machine after the 73 machine locked it down. So a lot of drivers with some issues early here tonight. But your race leader not having any issues. Will rejoin him back up at the front of the track. No one around, and that is just what you want to see if you are this man right here. Clean track in front, clean track behind. Get a little closer to this racing action there. You can see the 81 snaking this thing over the corner, hanging it out sideways, man. The 81 not letting up, pedal to the metal this entire time. And looks like another incident on track. We'll go back, check this one out involving Eric Anderson. Let's see what happened back here to Eric. Coming down into the final corner, looks like on the brakes hard. Looks like just carrying a little too much speed, and into the outside wall he goes. And that'll be that for just a brief moment. We'll rejoin the race leader back up at the front. The 81 machine off to a 2.7 race lead already. There you see just off in the distance, Brett Hahn. He's got just a little bit of a gap over third place, Frank DiMaggio. So those two drivers not really changing positions since the opening lap. Gonna make our way back through the field, take our look around. Let's jump back here around 7th, 8th, 9th position. That's where a little bit more of the racing action is going on, as right now Tanner Tallarico is heating up a few of these drivers back here through this pack. Or sorry, I apologize. I was looking at Tanner's numbers up there on the scoring chart, but that is actually Tom Rickard right there in the 11th position, the 34 machine, trying to make his way up to Chris World and GT Irizarry. See if he can't get by those two drivers. Rickard carrying the BladeNode.com sponsorship on that 34 machine. Nice, pretty looking car. Really like it. I bet you that thing underneath some lights. Oh my goodness. Gonna go a little further back through the field, as it looks like we've got some more battles going on. Andrew Payne right here in the 25 machine. He's trying to catch up, trying to get involved, make it a 3-car battle, and he is right there within about a car length of the 93 of Andrew Payne. And Payne is right there with Rickard. The lead continuing to grow at the front. The 81 of Mike Berg has had control since the drop of the green flag and has not looked back. The lead now up over 4 seconds for this man right here. Just another stroll in the park. Sunday drive for the 81. Looks like he is setting his sights on repeating last week's race win at Daytona International Superspeedway. Can he go from one of the biggest, fastest tracks to a very tough technical track like Sonoma Raceway, get back-to-back race wins? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. Looks like Danny Diaz has had some issues. We'll jump back here, see what happened with Danny. And there you see the 43 just gassing it up, and around he goes. Drivers making some evasive maneuvers, making their way around. The 43 gonna loop it around and get headed back in the right direction. With that being said, we'll go back up front with your race leader. 4.5 second race lead for the driver on screen. Man, oh man, Mike Berg getting the job done here tonight. Looks like we do have a few gaps beginning to open up through the front of the field. We'll go back to one of your closest battles as Chris World tries to go. And it looks like Tom having some issues off track, almost into the outside wall. Oh my goodness. He did everything but crash that car right there. He wrecked but didn't crash. Oh my goodness, 34 having some issues there coming out of the carousel, the downhill carousel, catching him a little bit off guard, gassing the car up, getting a little bit sideways, almost paying the price here tonight. Bob Rogerson with an issue on track. We'll take a look back here, see what happened with Rogerson. And looks like, once again, just carrying too much speed there for Rogerson, and almost an issue. Not quite like the issue we seen earlier tonight with the driver getting into the tire barrier, the retaining wall right there in the final hairpin. But I'm sure we'll probably see that happen a few more times here tonight, drivers. It's very easy to let off the brake to try to roll, but the center of that hairpin is very, very tough to get the car to have the mechanical grip that it needs to really roll that center. Off-track excursion once again. Dan Diaz having a bit of a moment. So Diaz with a bit of a moment in front of your race leader. Nothing has changed with your top five. Mike Berg still continues to lead the race. 71 of Brett Hahn sitting right there in second. Third place, Frank DiMaggio. Dylan Reed in fourth, and Tanner Tallarico round out your top five. Sitting right there in sixth, Eddie Behan. Davey Hendrickson seventh. Eighth is GT Irizarry. Ninth is Chris Wold. And Andrew Payne gonna round out your top 10. 24 laps remaining here tonight from Sonoma Raceway in the Relentless Wrestling 75 here in Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. Simple Web Solutions powered by nerds. All right, well, we've got some people in the chat that want to keep an eye on somebody. I tell you what, we'll take a look, see if we can't catch up with them down there on the track. 25 of Nick Fleury right there, running pretty good, sitting just outside of the top 10, sitting in the 12th position. And I do appreciate it. That's Richter in the 34 machine, the BladeNode.com sponsored machine here in the Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. So do appreciate everybody out there on the chat helping me with pronunciations, and we'll see throughout the night. You think it's episode 5 of the Flurry Fails, but he's looking pretty strong right now, as I already mentioned, sitting just outside the top 10, knocking on the door of it as we speak in the 12th position, just about a half a second off of 11th, but then he's got about 3 seconds to make up before he catches up to the closest driver from there, back up at the front of the field. Frank DiMaggio continues to try to close in on Brett Hahn. Hahn has taken over that spot on the opening lap, and off track goes Zach Shahalis. Tough break for Zach. Bill Jett also going off track. A lot of off-track excursions for a lot of drivers here tonight. And that goes back to a point that I made in the opening lap. The quickest way around the track is to stay on the track. And there you see that 24 machine. He's got a little bit of trouble. And off track once again goes the 24. Not having the race that he would like here, just in front of the drivers running in second and third. And man, I tell you what, this is a pretty heated battle here. This battle has been brewing for about the entire time that we've been running here tonight. 7 laps in the book so far, but still a very long way to go. And these two drivers continue to battle it out lap after lap. I wonder who's going to come get tires here, or who's going to be brave enough to try to stay out. Will they have enough fuel to make it to the end? 50% fuel here tonight for these drivers. So Gotta wonder how that's all going to shake out. Nipping the cone right there. 71. Don't like them cones. Knocking them on out of the way as he continues to lead Frank DiMaggio. DiMaggio not letting him get away. We'll go a little further back in the field as we've got a three-car battle beginning to brew between GT Irizarry, Andrew Payne, and Chris World. Chris right there heating up Payne. Oh, Irizarry with a moment. Putting the power down, getting loose into the wall, just a hair. Gonna lose 2 spots, possibly 3, as Bryson Clark right there closing in on the uphill into turn number 2. And oh, the 28 machine with an off-track Jay Morris having a little bit of trouble. Jay Morris with a little bit of trouble. Bill Jett also right there. That was the 28 machine having those issues. And oh my goodness, this is getting pretty heated right here. Bryson Clark, GT Irizarry right there trying to make up that spot once again. As Irizarry in the 4 machine. Oh, right in front of him, the 51 of Davey Hendricks spinning around. Oh my goodness. That could have been bad. We'll just leave it at that. Hendricks with a little bit of off-track excursion. We'll go back, see if we can't see what happened. Oh, contact with the 24, I believe. We'll take a look one more time. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of contact. And around that 51 machine goes. And ooh, the front end of that machine looks like it may have seen some better days. Nonetheless, Davey Hendricks still knocking on the door of a top 10, sitting in 11th, just in front of the 25 machine of Nick Fleury. Your top 10 still remaining the same. Nobody really changing positions. Hendricks dropping out of that top 10. Mike Berg still continuing to lead the race. Brett Hahn in second. Dylan Reed third. Tanner Tallarico fourth. Frank DiMaggio in fifth. So Frank with a little bit of an off-track moment, and that allowed Dylan Reed and Tanner Tallarico to make their way by. Eddie Behan still running in 6th. 7th is Andrew Payne. Chris Wold right there in 8th. 9th is Bryson Clark, and GT Irizarry rounds out your top 10. Man, I tell you, there's small little battles all over the track. Look at this. Tim Rogers right there on that rear deck lid of the 25 machine, heating him up, and that can be just as troublesome, just being in somebody's mirror. And oh, the 24. I believe that was the 24. Zach Jahalis having a rough time. The 22. I apologize. Zach driving the 22 machine. A little bit of a moment there for him as well. As we work our way closer and closer to just 20 laps remaining, 33 drivers took to tonight's starting grid. 32 drivers still out there on track. Bill Jett with some issues. That 28 machine is down there thrashing away. And Dan Diaz and Jamie Beasley into some trouble. Oh my goodness. We've still got 30 drivers on the lead lap. Richard Pruitt being shown in the lucky dog position. We'll take a look back here, see what happened with Jamie Beasley. 29 machine making his way into the final hairpin here. We have to wait and see what happened. I'm just not able to slow the car down and into that outside retaining wall. Just a brief little scrape there into that outside retaining wall, but very easy to overcook the entry to that final turn. Meanwhile, back to this battle right here. Oh my goodness. Looking to the inside, not going to be able to get the job done right there. Can he outbrake him going into the right-hander here? Not going to be able to do it. Not going to have the line. Not going to have the line of sight to be able to pull that pass off. Looks like he'll be stuck through the inside of the portion of the track here. Looking to the inside in the carousel, not going to have enough room, not going to have enough time to get it done right there either. Both of these drivers putting the power down, working back to the 90-degree turn here. Oh, and on the brakes, Harden sliding through the corner. That's going to put Tim Rogers well behind Fleury now. So Fleury's got a little bit of breathing room. He's got about a second over that 48 machine, so able to breathe for just a brief moment is that 25. Going back a little further up front, 73 of Bryson Clark. He's got a Hornet's Nest behind him. Davey Hendricks, GT Irizarry, Chris Wold going to pit road. So electing to come get tires here very early. We'll have to wait and see how that race strategy pans out. Looks like we do have a few drivers out there that have already hit pit road as well. Andy Cork as well as Eric Anderson also on to pit road. Brett Hahn somehow, some way has started to lose a little bit more ground to the drivers around him. Dylan Reed closing the distance. Reed was about 2.5 seconds back just 2 laps ago, now sitting just under 1 second back. So Hahn struggling a little bit here as we find ourselves with just under 20 laps to go. Tanner Tallarico sitting in 4th. 5th is Frank DiMaggio. There you can see DiMaggio coming up over the hill trying to run down that one machine of Tanner Tallarico. Can Tallarico keep him at bay, or will he fall victim to DiMaggio? DiMaggio very fast in happy hour, very fast in qualifying, sat outside pole position here today for Relentless Wrestling 75 from Sonoma Raceway here in the Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. And man, I tell you what, it's been a pretty eventful race already. DiMaggio still trying to get up there to Tallarico, not going to be able to get the job done, but oh my. This man right here has absolutely walked away from everybody. 11.5 second race lead for the man on screen, your race leader, the 81 of Mike Berg. Man, he is picking him up, laying him down last time by 138.62. That is right at about 4 seconds. Oh, a little bit of a moment there on the throttle for the 81 machine. Got a little tail happy there on throttle, but that's a little over 4 seconds of fall off in the lap time. And, I mean, we're not even halfway through this race, and we've fallen off 4 seconds. So the fresh tires, if utilized the right way, can gain you a ton of time. Disregard the tires, huh? They can hurt you. If you're not careful, they'll jump out and bite you. Sometimes they just like to, just move like an inch or two further than where they've been the last few times by. Just saying. I mean, it happens. Lots of drivers with some off-track excursions there. You've seen the 42 machine of Paul Turner off-track once again. He's going to lose one more lap here today. Turner being scored, I believe, just the 1 lap down, but being shown as the second car 1 lap down. Brian Dorsey now the first car 1 lap down. Travis Everett sitting in the 22nd position, last car on the lead lap, and he does not have a lot of time to play with because this man, Mike Berg, is making his way right there to the back of the pack, going right around that last 90-degree hairpin right there. Or not the last one, I should say. Turn, I believe that's turn 10 right there. Turn 10 and 11. Then you've got the chicane right here, 12, 13, 14. Final turn, turn 16. All right, so I tell you what, let's go. Let's see if we can't find ourselves a little bit of a battle. Jeff Chandler, look at this. Little bit of a mix-up, little bit of a scrum going on back here. We've got the 32 of Chris World, Jeff Chandler, and Crank Bell. Oh, contact between a 24 And I believe that may have been Bob Rogerson, Chris World, and Richard Pruitt possibly. We'll take a look here one more time. Yeah, there you see World trying to make his way by the 24 and just the 24 contact and into the dirt and grass go those two drivers. Dan Diaz with a little bit of a moment as well. We'll take a look, see what happened here to Diaz in the 43 machine as he was making his way up to turns 2 here, and looks like he was just on the brake trying to slow down. Just slowed down a little too much. I don't think we've seen that happen very often. Drivers slowing down too much. A little bit interesting. Go back up to a little battle once again. Ooh. 95 of Bradley Beeman trying to make his way around that hairpin. And that hairpin's really starting to give these drivers a big-time fit. Looks like they're all being caught up in the braking portion. And when they get off the brake, the car's just not rolling the way that they think it's going to. It seems to have caught a few of the drivers out here tonight. Looks like Zach Shahalis with a off-track incident as well. Crank Bell with a little bit of a moment here tonight, halfway through tonight's race. Next time by, and Mike Berg, man, he has put it on him. Put it on him and coming to pit road halfway through. Relentless Wrestling 75 here at Sonoma Raceway. Your second place driver, Brett Hahn, going to come to pit road. Dylan Reed to pit road this time by as well. So everybody at the front coming to pit road. Tanner Tallarico, Frank DiMaggio, both on to pit road as well. We'll continue to watch this battle on track. This three-car battle for position, I should say. Bradley Beeman right there, Chris Dean and Jeff Winter all right here grouped up with each other, trying to see who's gonna run inside the top 10, who's gonna take their chances to get up there and knock the door down and bust through the window inside that top 10. Your top 11, 12 now make it as soon as Jeff Sharp hits pit road. There he goes on to pit road this time by. Your top 13 drivers all on to pit road. Few other drivers staying out there on track. Mike Berg and Brett Hahn, Dylan Reed now making their way back off of pit road and back onto the raceway. And Mike Berg has been able to pit and come out with the race lead here at Sonoma Raceway. That is a blessing all in itself, and away he goes once again. The field is going to need something catastrophic to happen to this 81 machine, because he has absolutely fired away from that green flag pit stop and already out to a 6-second race lead over the 71 of Brett Hahn. More drivers beginning to make their way on and off pit road, so we'll let the timing and scoring continue to roll through, cycle through, and make itself right. These green flag pit stops in the troublesome track here from the beautiful countryside in California here at Sonoma Raceway has caught a ton of drivers out tonight. We started with 33 drivers. We've still got 30 drivers running here tonight. Looks like we're gonna have, I believe, 22 drivers left on the lead lap after these green flag pit cycles take place. Oh my goodness. Mike Berg has absolutely put on a road racing clinic, and if my memory serves me correct, Mike was a very modest winner last week at Daytona International Speedway, being a little modest about his road racing capabilities. I think he kind of sandbagged us there, saying wasn't really that great, but was going to give it all he could. Well, the field has been put on notice. If Mike Berg does all he can, you better watch out at the front, because this man now 7.5 second race lead, and he's going to continue to run into to some back markers here today in the Relentless Wrestling 75 from Sonoma Raceway. We'll look around the track here for some more battles as Chris Dean, Bradley Beeman, and Jeff Chandler make their way off of pit road this time. Looking around through the timing and scoring, and I tell you what, let's go right here with Dave Hendricks as Hendricks is trying to chase down Bryson Clark. That is for position on track. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and give you a little something different. There you see the battle box between these drivers for the 8th position. Driver just behind Hendricks is Zach Shahalis with some trouble here tonight. The 22 machine down multiple laps here already from Sonoma Raceway. We are well over halfway here tonight in the Relentless Wrestling 75 in Cyber Thunder's Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. Simple Web Solutions, powered by nerds. '78 machine just kind of staying out of the way. Bob Rogerson just kind of like, you know what, guys, I'm not going to be a part of this. You guys battle it out amongst yourselves. As Hendricks still trying to chase down Clark, not able to do it just yet. We'll have to wait and see how that battle continues to play out here today at Sonoma Raceway. We'll take another look back up front as the drivers make their way around this 2.47 mile track in the beautiful countryside at Sonoma. And I tell you what, just great racetrack to go sit down at, have a glass of wine, couple glasses of wine, you know what I mean? And just enjoy a great race. Beautiful countryside, beautiful racetrack. I urge each and every one of the fans, friends, and family out there watching here tonight to go out to Sonoma if they can get a chance. Beautiful, and I promise you, you will not regret it. With that being said, do want to give each and every one of you out there viewing with us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight a huge shout out. Thank you. We appreciate you each and every time you check us out here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And if you haven't already, throw these Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do, as stated, appreciate each and every time you join us, whether it's for a few moments or if you're a dedicated follower joining us each and every night. We do appreciate each and every one of you. The 31 of Dylan Reed still trying to close the distance in the gap. Lost a ton of ground to Brett Hahn during that green flag pit cycle. Reed now down about 6.5 seconds to Hahn, and he is slowly falling into the clutches of the one machine. Tanner Tallarico trying to repeat a podium finish last week, knocking on the door of the podium, now running in the fourth spot, looking to chase down this 31 running in third. And a man that's saying, don't count me out just yet. There you see the Rainbow Warrior Skittles ZL1 Camaro being piloted by Frank DiMaggio. The 95 looks to go up there and crack himself back into the podium spots. DiMaggio started outside pole position here today, so losing 3 spots throughout today's race. Crossing the line, 11 laps to go here at Sonoma Raceway in Relentless Wrestling 75 and Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. My goodness, what a race it's been so far here tonight. Drivers getting caught out multiple times here tonight, but the man at the front has been absolutely flawless. And I tell you what, why don't we go on board here with your race leader, the 81 of Mike Berg. Just take a listen how he's working the throttle here. And you can see it on the RPM gauge. Fully in the gas here. Staying into, I believe that's third gear he's still in. Back on the throttle. Nice and easy. Carrying it off of the rumble strips. Third back down to second. And all the way to first. Sliding by. Keeping it hugged right close to the tires. Back up. Second. Up into third. Crossing the line here. Gonna take turn number 1 in third. Into fourth for a second. Back to third. Back to second. A little bit of a wheel hop there. Coming up the hill. Oh. Had to correct the car there. Man, oh man. Berg is putting on a clinic. This is some excellent driving here. And there you can hear the tires spinning when he's getting on the tire, when he's getting on the gas. That's that little bit of a hop sound that you hear. Is just the tires just not hooking up completely and just getting a little bit of spin out of them. Man, I tell you what, do appreciate everybody back at the shop of that 81 machine for allowing us to put that great onboard camera inside that 81 for today's race. And just an amazing job out there by Mike Berg and the entire 81 crew. He has put on a show, and not to beat a dead horse, but he has just absolutely walked away from the field. When he came out of the green flag pit cycle, he only had a 6-second race lead. Since he has grown that by 4.5 seconds. Race lead now back upwards of 10.5 seconds. As he makes his way by the 32 machine down into the final hairpin. That's going to put Chris Wold on in the lucky dog position. First car, 1 lap down. We've got 17 drivers remaining on the lead lap, and Mike Berg is continuing to chase them down. How many can he put a lap down? I'll tell you what, out there in the chat, let's see what you think out there. How many drivers do you think are going to finish on the lead lap? How many you think this 81 machine's going to be able to put behind him? Or do you even think he's going to be able to seal the deal here from Sonoma Raceway? We'll give you a chance to think about how all that's going to play out. As we'll go a little further back in the pack here, Tanner Tallarico, trying to keep the 95 behind him. Gonna run wide here. DiMaggio forced to stay behind the one of Tallarico, coming to the downhill carousel here. Tallarico on the brake, laid a little bit of a wiggle here. The 95 right on his bumper, man. And off track just a little bit. Both of those drivers able to keep it going straight. Tallarico with the advantage now coming in to turn number 10. Able to gain a little bit of distance as they make their way through the NASCAR chicane. All of these drivers very familiar with this section of the race course. Haven't seen a lot of issues through this part of the race course here tonight. Oh my goodness. The 95, oh my. And just as I said, haven't seen a lot of issues from this side of the track. Oh my goodness, the 95 of DiMaggio about destroys his car. Oh my goodness. Doesn't look like too much damage on the right front of that 95 machine, but he has fallen well off the pace of Tanner Tallarico, losing now 6 seconds, and that is going to put an end to that fight. Can Tallarico get up there and challenge the 31 of Dylan Reed for the third spot? We'll have to wait and see how all that shakes out there just in front of Tallarico. Not for position. Driver 34, Tom Richter. And the 27 just pulls out of the way right there, allows the one of Tallarico to get by and continue his pursuit of the 31 of Dylan Reed. So very gentlemanlike, very sportsman of the driver of that 34 machine, Tom Richter. Hats off to him for letting the drivers battle it out here and not creating any more issues than what they're already dealing with a very tough, very technical road course. A lot of elevation changes. The downhill left-hand turns really, really rough on a lot of these drivers here today. And I mean, just all in all, road course racing is an entire beast to itself with these big, heavy 10 tops, as all my Aussie V8 racers like to call these things, the 10 tops. Very heavy cars, very tough to get them to do what you want them to do on the road courses already. And then you throw in some steeper elevation changes, and that it just puts a lot of wear on the car, a lot of unfamiliar loads on the car, and that's why it's just that tough out there around this track in these cars, very heavy Cup cars here in the Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. And it looks like we've had a few drivers try to stay out in front of your race leader, and they've been able to keep them at bay so far. 16 drivers left on the lead lap as we've got 7 laps remaining. The 81 looks flawless through the NASCAR chicane. That's a place he is gaining time, gaining about a 10th right there through that section each time. So my goodness. Going to go back here to another battle on track. There you see the 14, one of the back markers moving right on out of the way, letting the 55 fight it out with Bryson Clark. The 73 of Clark has the 7th position, but Behan wants it. Can he get it? Can he get that discount tire Ford Mustang up there and try to take away the spot from Bryson Clark's Chevy ZL1 Camaro? We'll have to wait to see how that continues to shake out over the final portions of today's race. Looking through the timing and scoring, trying to bring you all of the battles on track. Looks like we've got a battle beginning to brew right here between this 34 machine of Tom Richter and Chris Dean. Chris right there on the bumper. Or I'm sorry, that's actually Bradley Beeman right there on the bumper of Tom Richter. And absolutely, I agreed with that. They don't have the traction control, and not just the traction control. They don't have the downforce. These big, heavy, they're sleek. But let's be honest about it, they're blocky as compared to your Formula style cars, your Indy cars, even your V8 supercars. They're a little bit more aerodynamic and a little bit more nimble just because of the weight. So not just the traction control being the big issue, just it's really, I think, just how heavy these cars are. These cars are just very, very heavy, and the brakes are horrendous. Let's just leave it right there as horrendous. Oh, and for the first time here tonight, we're going to give it to you because somebody mentioned about it. Nick Fleury with his first off-track excursion of the night. Heck of a job by Fleury, making it almost all the way to the end without an off-track here today. And I tell you what, it wasn't really that bad. So the 25 doing a heck of a job out there knocking on the door of the top 10. And I believe he has just slotted himself inside the top 10, taking that spot away from Bryson Clark as Clark has went off track. GT Irizarry now takes that 11th position, but he is 6.5 seconds behind Fleury. So Fleury not having to worry, just going to have to bring it home, be nice and smooth. And that 25 going to walk away with a top 10 here tonight. Dylan Reed still trying to gain some ground, still trying to catch Brett Hahn, but not going to be able to get there in time I don't believe he's going to be able to make up the almost 5 seconds to take that second spot away. Can Tanner Tallarico somehow make up 6.5 seconds to put himself onto the podium once again? We'll have to wait and see, as it looks like the one and only man that's going to make it back to the podium back-to-back times here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. He's going to make it back to the podium back-to-back as the race winner, Mike Berg, continues to lead today's race. 4 laps remaining here in Relentless Wrestling 75 for Cyber Thunder's Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. BladeNode.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds. Looking for some more battles out there on track. There you see Bradley Beeman able to make his way by Tom Richter, and Richter trying to take that spot back. He's going to have some company in a back marker just behind him, so he's going to have to keep an eye in the rearview mirror, as well as keep his head down, elbows up, and try to go get that 13th position away from the 92 of Bradley Beeman. Beeman having a pretty solid run so far here today. Beeman just about a half a second in front of excuse me, sorry about that, of Tom Richter. Richter's trying to pilot that BladeNode.com ZL1 Camaro into a top 10, not looking like it's going to come to fruition. And oh, the 42 goes around right in front of this battle. Another driver into the wall. Oh my, Crank Bell into the wall. Jeff Chandler with some trouble as well. We'll take a look, see what happened to Chandler here next. There you see Crank Bell with some contact going around. Sorry, that I believe that we seen just a moment ago was Paul Turner and Bob Rogerson with some trouble. There you see Paul going around and then Turner going around. Oh my goodness. And those tires, I told you they can be pretty sticky. Back at the front with your race leader now. Only 14 drivers remain on the lead lap. 3 laps remaining for the man on the screen. The 81 continues to pick him up and put him down here at Sonoma Raceway in Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. Man, oh man, the Relentless Wrestling 75 has not disappointed. Mike Berg has put on a clinic, and a lot of these drivers have mixed it up very heavily all throughout the field, as we see your race leader just behind the 34 and the 92. Both of those drivers fighting for position and fighting to stay on the lead lap. The race leader right behind him. Jeff Winter right behind your race leader, the 13, trying to see if he can't get a lap back the good old-fashioned way. Travis Everett not going to be able to do it, as it looks like Berg just continues to walk away from driver after driver. Now a little bit of a rolling roadblock. 34 to the outside in turn number 1 and 2. He gets the spot from the 92 and sets sail, but can he keep Mike Berg behind him? Tom Richter trying to keep the race leader behind him, trying to keep him at bay. Running wide that time was your race leader. Oh, and moving to the side and out of the way for the race leader is Tom Richter. That opened the door for the 92 for just a brief moment, as they're nose to tail once again. So this battle is still going to continue. They are running out of time, though, because Mike Berg is absolutely hammered down. If I've ever seen a dominant run at a road course, this This is absolutely one of the most dominating performances I have seen at a road course. Oh my goodness, Berg has put only the top 12 drivers are still on the lead lap. We started with 33 drivers here tonight. We've got 12 left on the lead lap. Mike Berg has absolutely put on a show. Brett Hahn right there in second, Dylan Reed in third, fourth place, Tanner Tallarico, and in fifth, Frank DiMaggio. As Mike Berg crosses the line for the white flag here in Relentless Wrestling 75 in Cyber Thunder Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. Oh my, one more time around this 2.47 mile track. 81 has been pretty much flawless the entire race. Can he do it for just about a half a lap more? Battle underway for the fourth and fifth position. Looks like Frank DiMaggio right there with Tanner Tallarico. That battle has not gone away. We'll take a look back at this as your race leader. Nobody's around him. He's got about, close to about 13 seconds or so over Brett Hahn. So as long as he keeps it on the asphalt, he's going to walk away with the race win. Tallarico trying to keep that 95 behind him in the downhill carousel. Able to do it so far, but the 95 getting a run off the corner. Looking to the inside now, going by the back marker. Tallarico scoots ahead, coming to the left-hander. The 95 all over him. Oh my goodness, as your race leader works his way to the final chicane. We'll check back in with this battle back here coming through the NASCAR chicane. Tallarico out front. Mike Berg coming to the line for the final time here tonight in the Relentless Wrestling 75. Walking away with the race win once again. The 81 of Mike Berg. Back to this battle right here. Oh my. 95 goes wide. Not gonna be able to get the spot. Tanner Tallarico's gonna fend off the 95 of Frank DiMaggio. That is for fourth and fifth in the running order. My goodness, what a race for a lot of these drivers out there tonight. And what a race for this gentleman right here on screen. Absolutely put on a show, put on a clinic, lapped well over half the field here tonight. Hats off. Great run for the driver of that 81 machine. I don't know how he got it done, but he absolutely got it done. And got it done in style once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network and Cyber Thunder. BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. And oh my, what do we have here? Gonna burn it down for us one good time. There you go. And as the 81 celebrates and enjoys his victory, we're going to step away for just a brief moment, get things set up for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back here at Sonoma Raceway. back trackside as promised. And what a show we had here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network and Cyber Thunder. BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series here for the Relentless Wrestling 75 at Sonoma Raceway. My goodness, what an absolute great race it was. And let's see if we can't catch up and have a few words with the driver finishing in the second position. And it looks like he's ready to go over there on the drag strip. Let's see if we can't grab a few words in with Brett Hahn. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. This race was only 30 laps long, but I tell you what, it felt a lot longer in the car.
I can assure you that. I say it's 16 turns at the track. Some drivers say it's less, some say it's more, but very technical, tough track. How focused do you have to remain? A very short race, 30 laps, but how focused do you have to stay throughout these 30 laps for 17 turns in one lap?
You have to be on your game every turn because Sonoma is a tough track. You make one mistake, you put a tire off in the grass, and oh my goodness, you're done with the race.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a few drivers out there with some off-track excursions. I don't believe or recall seeing you with any real incident points or anything like that. So, was that a key factor coming into tonight's race? I know it sounds silly to most people, but just keep it on the asphalt. Was that the main goal, and just how the cards fell, let them fall that way? Is that kind of how you approached tonight's race?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the number one goal is keep the car on the track. I actually got a little bit of contact with the 95 of Frank DiMaggio going into 11 with a lap car. I downshifted too much, put into neutral, and when I put it back into first, it kind of walked around on me, and I just saved it enough, but of course I put him in the tire barrier, so I feel terrible about that. But yeah, this track is definitely demanding, and it's really rewarding once you get it right, though, I'll tell you that.
Well, man, getting it right is something you did here today. You started, I believe you started in third place here tonight, if I'm not mistaken, and you were able to pick up one spot there on the opening lap, just not able to run down the race leader. So a heck of a race out there for you and the 71 team. That's going to fare well for some points for you guys. So you can take that and move forward. And once again, Brett, congratulations on a great finish here tonight, walking away in a second place. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car?
Oh, for sure, yep. Yeah, this was definitely, I'll take a second place as a win because Michael Berg, he's the man to beat on these road course tracks, so a second place to him is a win in my book. I'd like to thank Tanner Tallarico and Tallarico Sign and Design for doing up this great car. Looks like my Brett the Jet Mobile of real life, my modified, so I gotta thank him and all his pointers he's given me. Got to thank my teammates, Eddie and Nick at RHU Racing. Got to thank all the loyal Brett the Jet fans out there with my family, my dad, my girlfriend, and my grandparents watching. So, heck of a show. Hopefully, we put on a good one tonight. I know I was dodging a couple people. I'm like, oh, man, I bet this looks straight up in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, it was a great show. I was thoroughly what's the word I'm like, entertained, but I love road course racing to begin with, and you guys put on one heck of a show, man. Brett, once again, congratulations on your great race finish here, and we'll see if you can't keep up the momentum next week. We'll try to catch up with you post-race as well.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for doing this broadcast. Thanks for Cyber for putting this on, and yep, let's hope I can keep the momentum because the last couple 20 place finishes have not been great for the points, so hopefully I can keep this momentum.
All right, my man. Well, we'll catch up with you next week.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
All right, there you have it. Driver finishing in second here today, the 71 of Brett Hahn, basically taking that second place as a race win. So Hahn very, very happy, and now we'll see if we can't get a word with the man of the hour, but I thought he was the man of the hour last week. Back-to-back race wins now, man. Berg, you making this a habit, ain't you?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Hopefully we can keep that going through next week and then all of the weeks after that.
Yeah, I mean, winning races is definitely probably the best habit you could have. I mean, there's a lot of bad habits out there, but I wouldn't mind having this one.
Yeah, no, this is not my worst by any means.
All right, man. Well, can the momentum carry you to a three in a row? I mean, is it too early to ask that already? I mean, you just climbed out of the car after a dominating performance here at Sonoma Raceway, man, leading the entire race on and off pit road with your pit stop and everything with the race lead. I mean, you absolutely put on a clinic. So, I mean, have you already shifted your mind to next week's race?
Yeah, I was thinking about Charlotte after about lap 5 today. I kind of realized once the two guys behind me got together that I can just kind of save my stuff, manage the gap, and cruise for this one. It's no surprise if you look at the results for the first 3 weeks that intermediate tracks are not my thing. So I would be shocked if I have a good run next week, but you never know. My goal was to cut the points deficit to the playoff as much as I could this week, and I think the win accomplished that.
If it didn't accomplish it, it all but did, if that makes any logical sense.
Yeah, I think I was like 30 points out or something like that, and I knew this was my opportunity. I think I'm undefeated when it comes to Cyber Thunder on iRacing at road courses. I haven't run every one that the league has ever run, but when I do run, this tends to happen. So I knew I had a pretty good shot as long as I didn't shoot myself in the foot, and sure enough, pulled it off.
Well, that being said, I'm putting it on notice here, you guys at the Cyber Thunder BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. Y'all better take him out when we go back to the next road course. Y'all just go ahead and take him out, and then, y'all can have it. I'm just saying. At least I said it with you in the room.
No, that's perfectly fair. I mean, it's about the only chance they got, so.
Oh, shots fired. Mike Berg with shots fired.
I mean, when you lead every lap at a track twice, it's one thing, but I think I've led every lap at a road course 3 times now, so somebody's got to step it up eventually, right?
Feeling himself in victory lane. I like it, man. Good job. Hats off. Once again, Mike, congratulations with another great race. Obviously, winning the race, dominating here today. Before I let you go and celebrate and enjoy, man, would you like to give any more shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of the car?
Yeah, for sure. Just like to thank everyone at Cyber Thunder who puts this thing on. Tom, everyone at BladeNode.com. Get all your BladeNode.com website needs there. And then I'd like to thank you, Dave, for coming out and broadcasting these fantastic events. I'm glad that I made the race to the finish exciting last week because I owed you one for this week because this probably wasn't too exciting to watch, at least up front. And then I'd just like to thank all the other drivers out there on track with me today. Everyone did a really good job of not crashing in front of me. They kept it on the track, but they kept it, out of my way, and I really appreciated that. Yeah, other than that, I'm just looking forward to next week. Got to enjoy this one because I know next week is not going to be 3 in a row.
All right, my man. Well, we'll look to see if we can't catch up with you around my neck of the woods when we head to Charlotte next week. Once again, man, congratulations. Heck of a job. Look forward to seeing you at Charlotte. Look forward to you turning your intermediate luck around. We'll have to see how all that plays out. But once again, Mike, man, heck of a job. Pleasure watching you, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good, Dave. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Final words from your race winner. And, I don't like saying it, but he kind of put the league on notice that, hey, man, look, every time I come into the road courses, I walk away with the race win. Who is going to step it up? Who is going to challenge the man? Who is going to at least lead a lap when I show up to a road course? Mike Berg, man, not holding back in the post-race. Shots fired for sure. My goodness. Once again, a heck of a night here for for the Relentless Wrestling 75 at Sonoma Raceway and Cyber Thunder's Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds. My goodness, race fans, thank you for joining us here tonight from Sonoma Raceway. It was one heck of a show for sure, and oh my, you know what time that is. You know what the music means. Time to run down your unofficial race results here from Sonoma Raceway in the Relentless Wrestling 75. Walking away with the race win yet again, the 81 of Mike Berg. Walking away in second here tonight, the 71 of Brett Hahn. Dylan Reed gonna slot home in third. Fourth place, Tanner Tallarico. And the 95 of Frank DiMaggio will round out your top five. Andrew Payne in the 93 gonna slot home in sixth. Walking away in seventh, Davey Hendricks. Eddie Behan in eighth place. Ninth goes to Tim Rogers. Nick Fleury will round out your top 10. The 4 of GT Irizarry gonna walk away in 11th, 12th place, Jeff Sharp. Bradley Beeman in 13th, 14th place, Tom Richter. 15th, Jeff Winter. Kyle Jett in the 71 crew gonna walk away in 17th. 32 car of Chris Wold. I'll spit it out eventually, I promise I will. Gonna walk away in 17th. 18th spot gonna go to the 2 of Chris Dean. 19th finishing order here tonight, the 33 of Jeff Chandler. Crank Bell gonna walk away in 20th. 21st to Travis Everett. Bob Rogerson finishing in 22nd. 23rd, the 42 of Paul Taylor. The 67 of Andy Cork gonna finish in 24th. 25th will be Jamie Beasley. Richard Prude gonna finish in 27th. Walking away in 27th, Eric Anderson. The 73 of Brian Clark gonna finish in 28th here tonight. 29th, Jay Morris. Dan Diaz finishing in the 30th spot. The 9 of Brian Dorsey finishing 31st. Walking away in 32nd, Zach Shahalis in the 22 machine. And after early trouble and multiple incidents here tonight, the 28 machine of Bill Jett gonna walk away in the 33rd and final finishing spot. My goodness, race fans, it has been a pleasure once again bringing you all the calls here in the Relentless Wrestling 75 for Cyber Thunder's Pro Cup Series, sponsored by BladeNode.com. Simple web solutions powered by nerds. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay loved. Until then, we'll see you again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Our representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative. The estimated hold time is currently less than 96 minutes. You are currently caller number 32.
Are you tired of getting blown out of the water by other web hosting solutions? At BladeNode.com, our affordable web hosting and quick customer support is our #1 priority. BladeNode Web Hosting was started with a mission to provide premium hosting at half the price as other hosts without sacrificing features, reliability, and 24/7 customer support with a live technician. Join our community today by visiting BladeNode.com and using promo code BLADE10 for 10% off your first package.